There is a moment in cinema, quiet, raw, and often overlooked, when a character has no weapons left but their words. A moment where pride is shed, and all that remains is desperation. This is the moment of supplication. Welcome to Frame by Frame, a series where we explore cinema's deepest layers, one dramatic situation at a time. Today, we begin with the first of the 36 dramatic situations. Supplication. Why is it so powerful? Why does it feel so deeply human? And how do master storytellers use it to leave us breathless? Supplication is one of the oldest narrative forces in storytelling, as old as myth, as ancient as theater. It is the moment when one character begs another for mercy, help, or protection. Not out of strategy, but necessity. In classic literature, this might be a peasant begging a king. In modern cinema, it's a mother pleading with a judge, or a man kneeling before a mob boss, asking for something he can't take by force. The key is vulnerability. The supplicant lays themselves bare, and the power lies with the one being asked. Let's look at some powerful moments of supplication in film. In The Godfather, 1972, the film opens not with violence, but with a man begging Don Corleone for justice. "I believe in America," he says, his pride already fractured. It's not a request. It's a surrender. In Les Misérables, Fantine begs for mercy, not for herself, but for her child. Her voice trembles. Her eyes are already defeated. We don't just hear her words, we feel her collapse. And in Capharnaum, a child, born into a world that never asked for him, pleads for recognition. It's one of the most haunting acts of supplication ever put to screen. Not because he cries, but because he doesn't. For a supplication scene to truly land, it needs three core elements. 1. The supplicant, the one who begs, often powerless, but not always weak. 2. The authority figure, the one with the power to grant or deny. This can be a judge, a gangster, a parent, even God. 3. The threat, the looming consequence if the request is denied. These three ingredients create a triangle of tension. The more imbalance between the characters, the more powerless the supplicant. The colder the authority, the more potent the scene becomes. And here's the twist. Sometimes the authority figure is reluctant not out of cruelty, but out of fear. This adds complexity. Now, it's not just a yes or no, it's a struggle of mortality. Supplication works because it reflects something deeply human. The moment we all dread. Asking when we have no leverage, no pride, no protection. Whether it's a child asking to be believed, a refugee asking for shelter, or a man asking for forgiveness, these scenes force us into emotional proximity with powerlessness. They bypass logic. They speak directly to empathy. Great filmmakers don't just show a plea, they make us feel it. We hold our breath. We lean in. We ask ourselves, what would I do if I were in their place? And that's when cinema transcends entertainment. It becomes confrontation. As a screenwriter, supplication is your secret weapon. It doesn't require explosions. It doesn't need visual effects. Just two characters and the weight of a decision. Here's how to use it effectively. 1. Make the plea difficult. The more it costs the character to ask, the more powerful it becomes. Pride, fear, shame, use these as obstacles. 2. Use silence. Not every plea needs words. Sometimes a look, a pause, a breath can carry more pain than a monologue. 3. Reveal something deeper. The act of begging should expose the soul. What does the character truly want? Why now? Supplication scenes are windows into hidden wounds. Think of it as emotional suspense. The audience knows something must be said. but fears how it will be received. What's fascinating is how supplication appears across genres, not just in drama. In thrillers, a victim pleads with their captor. In science fiction, an alien race begs for coexistence. In romance, someone begs not to be left behind. Even in comedy, supplication can be flipped. A character begging in absurd, over-the-top ways can create tension and laughter at once. The universality of supplication makes it one of the most flexible tools in storytelling. It's not bound by time, place, or language, because at its core, it's not about what is asked, but why it's being asked and what's at stake if the answer is no. Visually, supplication scenes are gold for directors and cinematographers. A character on their knees, a hand reaching upward, a face obscured by shadows, pleading into silence. These are images burned into the language of cinema. The blocking of the scene, who stands, who kneels, carries just as much meaning as the dialogue. In Schindler's List, a mother begs for her child to be spared, but the camera never lets us forget who holds the power. The authority figure is always framed larger, colder, more distant. And when they grant mercy or deny it, the impact is unforgettable. So the next time you watch a film, pause when someone begs. Ask yourself, who truly holds the power here? What does this moment cost the character? And would you say yes? Supplication reminds us that cinema isn't always about action. Sometimes it's about stillness and the quiet agony of needing someone who might not care. This was just one of the 36 dramatic situations, and we've only scratched the surface. Next episode, we'll dive into another timeless force: deliverance when the helpless are rescued. But not always by heroes. Until then, watch closely. There's more happening in every frame than meets the eye. This is Frame by Frame. See you next time.